so we got Dick NutButt and iLLiterate and Evailiya here with Old Superhero
Old
for
Superhero.
HJTV. And
it's Old Superhero, and you know what to do.
all right.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.
No problem.
I've been talking about this every single day.
Fucking A. Definitely, he's been super hyped up about it.
So how'd you guys find me?
I found you through Twitter. Me and Evailiya got done watching Super Mansion, and I posted something on Twitter about Brad. I'm not going to give any spoilers away. You got the show.
Right.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
You do have to watch the show.
Finish it.
It's the best thing on TV at this moment.
Yes.
It is so funny, and it's free because it's on Crack.
Right?
Exactly.
So, yeah, by all means, give it a watch. You'll see spoofs. Well, did you see I guess you saw the action figures I made of them. Is how you probably saw me on Super Mansion's site. Yeah.
Yep.
Right back there over my corner. Pointing.
Right up there.
I build custom action figures nowadays. And I built the entire Super Mansion crew. I'm sure he'll put stills up.
Oh, yeah.
So you can see all of them. It's called customizing. And what I usually do is take Justice League Unlimited action figures and paint them and everything like that, put putty on them and everything to make them look like action figures of characters that have never been made into action figures. And I loved Super Mansion so much, I did the entire Super Mansion crew. Every time I do one, Matt Senreich and Crackle and Stupid Buddy Studios would retweet them and like them and say, do more. So I just kept doing more and more of them until I ended up with the entire Super Mansion crew. So that's probably how you guys saw that, I guess. So, yeah.
I caught the final with all of them. I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. And I saw that.
I wish I could say spoilers right now.
Right?
Fist and the burn. Yeah.
After credit spoiler alerts. Okay.
Brad and NutButt are my favorites, so that was like a real blow.
Custom NutButt.
Yes.
Oh shit.
That is awesome.
That's so fucking awesome.
I don't know how well you can see him there, but he's got his little braids and everything.
That is perfect.
It reminds me of like an Arnold Schwarzenegger Mr. Freeze mixed with like Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh my god.
He's hulking too, and I love it.
Yeah, his body is a dark side, a JLU dark side, but his head is all scratch built.
That's awesome.
Yeah, his head's all built from scratch.
That's crazy.
The suspenders are rubber bands.
That is perfect.
Hella talented.
Yeah, the hair and everything's all paper clay.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
I started out doing these things years ago, believe it or not. You'll see in one of my albums I made the other superheroes. The other real-life superheroes that are out there. Oh, here's Cooch.
Yeah!
Oh, she is hilarious. That entire show.
Her voice is based after that. Ain't nobody got no time for that. Yeah, I saw the woman they interviewed the woman that does her voice, and that's who she's based on. Is that ain't nobody got time for that.
That's great.
But yeah, I started doing the figures as of real life superheroes that did something in the community or something like that. Like say a guy got on the news for running a charity, feeding the homeless, stopping a purse snatcher, something like that. I'd build him an action figure. Because I figured, well, that's a good reward for a superhero is to have an action figure.
Right?
So, I've got a whole folder of them in there on my Facebook of just the different RLSH, real life superheroes over the years that I've built an action figure of, and I just give them to them. I mean, I know usually custom figures sell for good money and stuff, but I just give them to them if they did something, that helped out the community.
Right, it's a good way to honor
somebody laugh.
Yeah. How many people can be like, hey, I got an action figure of me?
Yeah. It's. I remember I saw, since this is a geek thing, I remember decades ago I used to watch this show called Our Magazine with Gary Collins, who was like a sci-fi actor in the 70s. He appeared in The Bionic Woman, and he played a Russian colonel in The $6 Million Man and everything. And he had Lonnie Anderson on there. And Lonnie Anderson, they told her they were going to make a doll out of her. And she said, oh, hell no, you're not. She was freaked out by the idea of having a doll. And then her daughter came to her and said, well, Mommy, if you've got a doll of yourself, you're really somebody.
Right.
And I guess that just always kind of stuck with me.
You got an action figure, you made it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. That's
like I said, that's a perfect way to honor somebody.
You've gotten over the hurdle.
Yeah.
I had an action figure of every single one of my idols growing up.
Yeah.
The Rock was my very first one.
As far as obscure characters go and that kind of thing, I try to build Marvel and DC guys that never got to have a figure either, like 3D Man, Dr. Spectrum, Golden Archer, guys from the Squadron Supreme,
the more
stuff like
obscure
that. I know
ones,
Hyperion's had a few figures, but I think he's the only member of the Squadron that ever got one, right?
I think so.
I thought I was like a geek. I am not. Preach. I am your follower.
Alright.
He's got me.
Alright. So
Squadron Supreme was like Marvel's version of the Justice League.
Oh, okay.
It never really caught on because those types of characters just don't do well in a Marvel universe.
Yeah, I'm definitely a DC person.
Yeah.
The only thing I know
was their Superman, Dr. Spectrum was their Green Lantern, Golden Archer was their Green Arrow, Wizard was their Flash, but it was basically Marvel's version of Justice League. As a matter of fact, they made a joke in it in one of the crossovers, where I think it was the universe colliding. What did they call those? The Almagams? Was that the name of those books where the DC and the Marvel characters met?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they met the Justice League, and somebody on the Avengers said, these guys are just a rip-off of the Squadron Supreme. Yeah.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Alright. So we got a couple questions. So what got you into wanting to be a superhero?
Well, like I said, when I was a kid, I had, I was very sickly and bullied and things like that. Comic book lore, action heroes, Captain Kirk, Iron Man, John Robinson, Batman, Adam West, things like that really appealed to me. The big take charge kind of guy. And when I got older, I got into weightlifting and being more athletic, took martial arts. I was in the military. I was a police academy graduate. And then I wanted to become a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
Because I had always been a huge fan of professional wrestling when I was a boy, too. Down here we had NWA from Florida with Gordon Soley. Gordon Soley with the Vinyl Driver, and guys like Dusty Rhodes, Jack and Jerry Briscoe, Sonny King, Ox Baker. Professional wrestling is, law down here.
Yeah.
They say you have three gods in Canada: Molson, Rush, and hockey. Down here it's professional wrestling. And a lot of them live here and everything like that, but always wanted to be a professional wrestler. So I found a professional wrestling school down in St. Pete, Florida. It was called Power Slam. And it was hell on earth. It was the hardest thing I had ever done in my life. Harder than boot camp, harder than the police academy. Andre ran the school like a drill sergeant, but I got through it. And then wrestlers have to come up with what's called their gimmick. which is like their persona, their personality, their look, you know, so they can get out there into the independent circuit and start working and making money and things like that. Well, since I was a kid and I always looked up to superheroes and things like that, I wanted to be a superhero. But I didn't know which one to be or how to be one. You know, I considered being a shark guy, things like that. And I was sitting in school talking with another guy named Dave Tristine, who wrestling fans might remember. He went on to become the fake Nash.
Oh, I was gonna say that name sounds familiar.
CW, remember Get Nash?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one in the dress that Randy destroyed. He came off the top rope on him and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Him and me went to school together.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I was sitting there talking to him, and I said, man, I don't know what superhero to be. And he said, why don't you just call yourself superhero? And that stuck. Star was born, and that's what I decided to do, was be superhero. And I didn't last long, though. I got out into the indie circuit and tore my right ACL in half. I had 2 bolts in my knee, and that was pretty much the end of my career there. But the superhero character himself just kind of stuck around.
Yeah.
Like people that had known I had been superhero around here. Like I'm friends with guys now who are film commissioners and stuff like that, because I work in broadcasting as well. They would say, hey, how'd superhero like to be in a commercial for me? Hey, how'd superhero like to show up at this film festival for me? This kind of thing. And the character just never really went away. Even though the wrestling went away, the character didn't. And one day I just said to myself, I was like, what would happen if I tried to do this in real life?
See, like that's the best kind of gimmick. Like the one that's not really a gimmick. It's just like an extension of you.
Yeah. I have the most boring origin story out of any one of the guys you're ever going to talk to that do this. I mean, like, you'll ask some 18-year-old kid with black lipstick, why did you become Dark Cape Man? And he'll tell you, because 9/11. Because the darkness encroaching upon my soul. The city needed a hero that it needed, not a hero that it wanted, but a hero, and all this stuff. And I'll just literally tell you, well, I just kind of fell into it.
Yeah.
I started out doing one thing, wrestling, which turned into another thing, commercial work and stuff, and then one day I just said, what would happen if I got into my car and my gimmick and went out and started doing it? And over the course of like a decade, my rig and my vehicles and my outfits just kept getting better and better and better. And of course back then there wasn't any, heck, there wasn't even MySpace back then. So if I found out there were any other real life superheroes doing this, it was the occasional, search on Yahoo or something. And I think there were like 3 or 4 other guys in the country that were doing it all over the country. Like a guy in Chicago, a guy in California, a couple of guys in New York, and that was about it. But we'd go out on patrols and things like that. Stopped a drunk on a hover round one night, didn't know what to do with him because that isn't really DUI, things like that. And then all of a sudden in the early 2000s it just kind of exploded. All of a sudden social media was there, and there were all these other guys that were coming on. It was like in 2000 it went from being 8 guys to being 16 guys to being 160 guys, and it just kind of exponentially grew. And over the years you've had guys come and go since then, but there's always been a good spattering of real live superheroes out there that are either patrolling or doing public service, things like that.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is not to say I was the first guy either. I'm far from the first guy. once the movement got really big, people started wondering about that. They were like, well, who's the first guy? So a bunch of homework and research was done by guys that do this, and they found a book, a self-published book from the 1970s called So You Want to Be a Superhero, by a guy who called himself the Knight Rider.
Wow.
Like K-I-N-G-H-T Rider. And so it stretches as far as we know. Of course, back then you had Captain Sticky, who was the housing rights advocate, who was on the show Real People. I remember him when I was a little kid. The Human Fly, Rick Roget, the guy that did the stunts. So there were always a smattering of real-life superheroes around, even long before me. But in the early 2000s is when it really took off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
So, next question. Who was your favorite superhero when you were growing up, and why?
Who was my favorite superhero when I was growing up? He's kind of played out now, but when I was a kid, I really liked Iron Man. I read a lot of Iron Man. As far as, let's see, also Captain Marvel. I like Captain Marvel too, but I think it was more the idea of, the little boy who got to be the big hero. I think that's probably why Captain Marvel outsold Superman.
Yeah.
I was totally thinking of Shazam.
Yeah, back in like the 30s and 40s, and there was the big lawsuit and everything. Because just the idea of the little boy that can say one word and become this, big, powerful superhero.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's no physics involved in it either. It's like everyone's always trying to figure out how Superman flies and this kind of thing. It's because of his aura, or because he's from a red sun planet. It's like Captain Marvel just says magic, bitches.
Right.
Right. Well, how does he do this? Magic. How does he do that? Magic. Yeah, there's no questions asked. But yeah, Captain Marvel and Iron Man, pretty much.
All right.
So, since we were talking about favorite superheroes growing up, mine was the Power Rangers, and to me,
you're a '90s kid, aren't you?
A lot of people, it seems like they don't take them serious as superheroes. So, what's your stance on that? Did you watch Power Rangers?
It wasn't Power Rangers when I was a kid, though. It was called Ultraman.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, Ultraman is officially one of the longest running TV shows in history. It started in 1966, and it's been in first run ever since.
That's
wow.
So, yeah, Ultraman was a big influence on me.
That's really freaking
that is owned by a guy named Saboria, who did all the effects on the early Godzilla movies and then started his own production company. But I view that as superhero. As a matter of fact, there was a guy we had years ago named Red Arrow.
Oh, shit.
And he was in a blue gimmick with a hood. I'm sure you can look up a picture of him. He had a big foam rubber red arrow on his head.
Yeah.
And he would go around malls and stuff with his gimmick on in, I think it was Hong Kong, and hand out candy to kids and stuff.
Oh, shit.
And they were, that was his thing, but his entire hero influence was Power Rangers.
So crazy.
Yeah, he told us so. Right now, there's a guy in Japan, you can look him up on my Twitter, called Full Moon Man, whose head is a moon.
Oh, shit.
You see, when I built him a figure of himself and sent it to him, he wasn't even aware we existed, but I used a ping pong ball as his head. Because he's got this giant moon for a head, and what he does is he goes around in this purple gimmick with a big moon head and with a broom and a dustpan and sweeps up Tokyo.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and I'm sure his influences are Power Rangers, One Punch Man, Evangelion, Robotech. Who's to define? Well, that's not a superhero.
Right.
You know, it's all, I guess, what part of the world you're looking at it from.
Yeah. They're super and they're heroes. They got power.
Yeah, I never understood how people could say that they weren't. I think it was just because that they looked at it as like too childish, I guess. And it is cheesy a little bit, but I don't know. I guess that cheesiness kind of made me just like grow fond of it even more.
Well, the next time they tell you that, tell them to look up Japanese Spider-Man.
Oh, I think I've seen it.
Yeah, because Stan Lee considers that canon.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he loves that. Where he has Leopardo, the giant robot that comes and helps him.
Let's go.
Yeah, so Stan Lee considers it canon, so they're superheroes.
Oh yeah, there it is. Stan Lee's blessing. Alright, speaking of superheroes, where we first saw your post was the Supermansion's Twitter page. What are your feelings about the Supermansion show?
Oh, I love it. I think it's the greatest thing on TV right now. I can't wait for the next season of it.
Oh yeah, the season 1 was amazing.
I love to. It's like as ridiculous as it is because it's done with stop motion dolls. It's like a realistic dose of what the superheroes would actually be like.
Right.
I guess that might appeal to me because I'm a real life superhero, so to speak. That's the official term. But it's like a Watchmen-esque real look at them. I mean, I hate to say it, but American Ranger is a lot more what a superhero from the 1940s would be like than like Marvel is trying to portray Captain America in the Avengers movies. Like they make him all pious and righteous and everything like that. No, a lot of the old people you know are unbelievably racist.
Yeah.
You know, they don't mean to be.
Yeah.
It's just the way things were in their time.
Exactly.
You know, like you look back at old propaganda posters, you see here's Superman, you know, hey, Superman says slap a jab, kids. He's, you know, pie-facing a Japanese soldier with buck teeth and the glasses and everything like that. An American Ranger is, you know, he's blunt. He's actually what that character would be like.
Yeah.
You know, right. Captain America is not. American Ranger is. So, yeah, I just, you know, Brad, you know, he's a drug addict, but he tries to do the right thing. Gooch is a cat. You know, he's always thinking about killing, you know, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the blunt honesty of the show, of what superheroes would probably be more like. And, and of course Bryan Cranston, you know, you just can't.
Right.
Anything with Bryan Cranston in it.
When I saw Bryan Cranston, I was like, alright, so, and then I was like, oh, Keegan-Michael Peele and all these other people too. Oh my, this is actually, even though it's on Crackle, you wouldn't think that they'd have these big names, but...
Crackle's got one thing above Netflix, and that it's completely free. Like, yeah. That was
they have a pretty good selection of stuff on Crackle.
Oh yeah.
And they do get a lot of first run stuff, like they had the Joe Dirt sequel on there and that kind of thing. I'm not really sure if it was that Crackle got all these big stars in the show or the fact that Stupid Buddy made it.
Yeah.
I'd imagine Stupid Buddy has a lot of clout.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah. Things like that, so... Supermansion, #1 show on TV.
Oh yeah, definitely. And season 2 cannot come soon enough.
No, not at all.
Speaking of season 2, but gotta go back to wrestling for a second. Do you know of and or watch Lucha Underground?
Oh yes, I love Lucha Underground.
Oh, thank God. I have found another believer, and I cannot get Mr. Dick NutButt to watch.
You did not know what a great worker John Morrison was until he left WWE and showed up on Lucha Underground.
That first night where he fought Prince Puma, man, that night with Lucha.
That was amazing.
The night where they fucking had the whole episode to themselves. The spot where they went through the couple tables, that was so amazing.
Yeah, it was just, that show blows me away. WWE needs more of that.
And, also, what do you think of the Vampiro versus Pentagon Jr. match? The Ciro Med.
It was great. It was great. Vampiro, I was surprised. I talked to him occasionally on Twitter. I looked up, I didn't know he was also like a Latin American soap opera star.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah.
I have to go look that up.
El Santo. If anything, and I want to say Conan was too.
Oh, I've heard that they
Conan
don't.
is on, Conan is Prince Puma's manager.
Yeah.
On Lucha Underground, and I think he was too, and I think there's some real life heat between
Oh, yeah, I've definitely heard that. Definitely.
Vampiro and Conan over a soap opera part that Conan screwed Vampiro out of, but don't quote me on
I did not know that was the reason. That is the most best reason you can give. Is that two professional wrestlers fought over a soap opera show.
Yeah, well, that's one thing that's so awesome about Lucha culture. I mean, that's like actually their face. If you look at old episodes of Latin soap operas that El Santo was in, he'd show up with his mask on.
That's crazy.
He's got a three-piece suit and his mask, and the women are coming up going, "Oh, El Santo, you're so handsome. How can you tell? He's got his mask on."
That is probably one of my favorite things about Lucha Underground is that they stay like faithful to that. Like the mask is everything. Like if you lose the mask, you might as well retire. Like nobody gives a shit.
Let me show you guys something again if you want to pop the camera back on.
Oh,
This particular figure, I made a El Santo figure a few years ago and put it on one of the boards. You can get a picture of it off of my Facebook albums. And this guy on the board literally, I'm crying right now. I can't believe an American made El Santo. And I was like, well, you can have it. He's like, no, you can't do that. Blah, blah, blah. And I said, no, dude, really, you can have him. I'm just happy that somebody, liked him. He says, okay, well, I'll make you one of you. And he sends me this thing. Fully jointed and everything else. Apparently, he owns like an action figure company in Latin America.
Wow.
And I made him, I guess I just made El Santo and sent it to him. And the next thing I know, I got this thing. Which is just absolutely amazing. I mean, it's mind-blowing, the quality of the thing, but that's how big Lucha culture is.
Yeah.
The guy was so blown away that he's like, oh, dude, you made El Santo.
Also, on the same subject of wrestling, what do you think of WWE nowadays? Like, do you enjoy it still, or is it just not working for you?
Well, the different terms. You've got your Mark, who still thinks it's real. You've got your Smart, who watches everything and then hates all of it.
Besides Lucha Underground.
I guess I'm falling into the category of what's called a Smart.
Yeah, definitely.
Because, I did it myself. I know what's going on, but I still love it like I did when I was a kid.
I'm on the internet forums a lot. A lot.
Yeah, Big Show took a face turn on SmackDown this week. I got really excited. Gold Dust is my favorite guy of all time.
Oh my God,
I'm really excited to see where they go with Golden Truth.
What? They're a tag team now? Holy shit. I still want that brother versus brother match at WrestleMania though. Like WWE needs to stop dicking around with that. Like I want to see Cody Rhodes versus Gold Dust.
Well, when they did that last time, I hate to say it, but what I saw in that, when I saw it, Cody and Dustin had said in an interview with Chris Jericho that I listened to, they said that, we've wanted to do this match our whole lives. And you could tell, because it was so well choreographed, that there really wasn't anything to pop over.
Oh, yeah.
In the match. It was almost too smooth. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, now I sound like a Smart, but or a Smart, pardon me. But I don't know. Now, what I would like to see them maybe do is Golden Truth, and then have Stardust and Titus O'Neil get together.
That would be one weird ass tag team match.
And then pit them against each other. Yeah.
Like,
that could be, that would be something I'd like to see.
I mean, like, I don't understand. How come Titus and fucking Stardust have been fighting, it seems like every week for like the last 3 weeks, just exchanging wins? Like,
well, that's what I don't know either. All I've really seen about that is Titus, wandering into the Star Chamber while Stardust is on one of his rants, and it's so funny. It harkens back to, Booker T going through the 7-Eleven and saying, "You didn't see no gold freak in here, did you?"
Goldust and Booker T.
And then he turns around and there's Goldust with a hot dog and he says, "Hey, Booker T, you want to bite my weenie?" It's so funny.
The Star Wars
originally, that's what I thought they were going to do, was get them together and try and make a new Booker T Goldust tag team.
Kind of racist in a way now that I think about it. Just put a black dude and one of the Goldust brothers together. It's racist.
He's only kind of in blackface.
Yeah, it's only half.
It's only half.
Yeah, it's cool.
And I don't know if it was necessary. If anything, it was kind of progressive, I would think, as opposed to racist. I mean, don't you just remember back in the day, Booker T dragged Goldust out to the arena with the microphone and says, "Now you tell these people that we're not in a relationship." And Goldust says, "We're practically married." So actually, it was kind of ahead of its time.
Yeah. True.
No, I love Booker T and Goldust, though. Definitely one of my favorite tag. Along with like RVD and Kane, they had a good weird tag team.
Yes.
That's when Kane lost his mask the first time in 2003.
Now remember something here while we're talking about Goldust and Kane. Kane is really good at getting guys over.
Yeah.
Goldust has put 5 guys into the Hall of Fame. Like 5 of his tag team partners have become Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
So, R-Truth is so talented. He's so funny. He's great on the mic. He's so athletic.
His heel turn that year, they should have stuck with that shit when he was like smoking the cigarette and all that.
They're finally going to stick him with Goldust to see if Goldust can get him over too.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I wasn't thinking about it that way because I just put it off as like just 2 jobbers that aren't really gonna do anything. But yeah, that could actually be a good way now that you think about it. Like, yeah,
Kane's good at getting guys over, and so's Dustin.
I was a little disappointed when I saw Kane's mask come off. I really thought
it was terrifying in 2003.
Not too.
I was also a little kid, though.
The way that they played it up, though, I thought his face was good. I thought they were going to do a little bit more. I know that's a little nitpicky, but still, like, the way that they're like, oh, his face is all burned and he's got to wear this mask. Like,
and then an Xbox shot him.
What was the angle on that? They said, oh, well, it was internal burns.
Yeah. Yeah. And when he very first came out, he was using the voice box. Like, it was that bad of burns that he couldn't even talk. He had to use the voice box. And then all of a sudden, like, and you could tell, I could tell anyway, the day that they took his mask off finally, it was a wig. His head was already shaved, but it wasn't shaved up until that point, because the way his hair was always wet in his matches when he was coming out, it was real hair. The day it got taken off, that's the day he shaved his head and they had a wig on his mouth.
I never realized that. What was the name of this horror movie?
Oh, See No Evil.
Yeah,
See No Evil was a great movie. Very underrated.
The guys I work with now worked with him on that and said he's real easy to work with.
He honestly seems like he'd be a nice guy in real life.
Yeah, he's also a politician, I think.
Oh, yeah, I've definitely heard about that.
Yeah, he's supposed to be really easy to work with. I guess I can talk about it because I've got legal copyright on it and everything. but I just dropped a script for a movie where wrestlers meet aliens.
What? I need this.
Yeah, I'm also a TV writer.
Oh shit.
And yeah. Matter of fact, there's if you guys look on YouTube at the Terminal Kill pilot, there's a pilot on there called Terminal Kill about guys with terminal diseases that the government hires to kill people.
I need to watch this.
I created that.
That does sound familiar.
But anyways, what I was getting at is I did this other script and I showed it to George Murdoch, who used to be Brodus Clay. Now he's Tyrus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he came down as my guest to a film festival I was at, and I hung out with him for an evening. Great guy.
That's
great guy. And I can't remember, he was in a WWE movie too.
He was?
Yeah, he plays a heavy in one of the WWE horror movies. I think it's some zombie flick where everybody's all hiding in a building, and George is one of the guys hiding in there with them. I can't think of the name of it right now.
Oh, I think I remember seeing something about that.
Yeah, okay. George goes to pound the guy in the head, and the guy blocks his arm.
Yeah, I think,
standing there, but anyways, long convoluted story to get to the point. George, Brodus Clay, greatest guy you'd ever meet.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so I met him, and I went home, and I wrote this script around him, and there's people interested in picking it up, but I wrote it around George, I showed it to him, he loved it, said I captured the real him, had his copy of it bound, and now we're just waiting for a green light to shoot.
Netflix, get at him, please.
Yeah, so, yeah, but George Brodus Murdoch, great guy too. So a lot of them are easy to work with. And Batista was well liked on the set of Guardians of the Galaxy. So that kind of opened the door for a lot of these wrestlers to get film roles.
Guardians of the Galaxy was like one of my favorite movies.
Batista was really, really good in that. I was a little...
Yeah, I was very surprised that he was good. And I didn't think he'd be one of the good wrestling actors.
Yeah.
For a while there, I had a little internet campaign going, trying to get it trending. It bombed horribly, though. I wanted Mike Bucci to play one of the Nova soldiers. Because, of course, he was Simon Dean, but back in the day, he was Nova.
I remember Simon Dean. Okay. He rode around with a little Segway and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Simon Dean. Well, I hated him as a kid, but I love him thinking back about it. He was such a dick.
Yeah, before that, he was Nova in ECW.
Ooh, okay.
I never got to watch ECW as a kid.
Yeah,
like, not that I was...
That was actually what I was saying earlier about how I wanted to be a superhero. Well, I marked out big time for Meanie and Nova. They were my favorite tag team. After the Blue World Order, they became like a Batman and Robin type of thing. CW.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was my goal, was to go to ECW and just, carry their gym bags around for them. Yeah, but I wanted him to play one of the Nova soldiers in the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Oh, I didn't put two and two together. The blue meanie and the... Oh, shit. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta take your side on that one. Yes, I need to see that.
Alright. So, we don't got too much time left before I gotta skedaddle out of here down to run karaoke. But we got a couple of questions from viewers that we wanted to ask real quick.
Sure, go ahead.
One of them was, what was the inspiration behind your costume?
Mine is a mix of Captain Marvel, Superman, and Hyperion. The dress uniforms have capes. The street uniforms do not, because what they say in The Watchmen and then later on in the, what's the name of that? The Incredibles.
Oh, The Incredibles.
Is true. No capes.
No capes.
In real life, capes don't work. Yeah, in patrol uniforms and stuff, no capes, and dress uniforms, capes, but those were the inspirations.
in your opinion, what was one of the saddest moments in superhero universe?
In which superhero universe?
In any of them, honestly, that you particularly like, Marvel, DC, whatever one you.
What was your most tragic storyline?
Wow, most tragic storyline
that affected you?
Wow, you've really got me on that one. You stumped the band.
Yes.
You stumped the band. Okay, well, I'll say, what tragic storyline really affected me? Well, I cried like a little bitch at the end of The Iron Giant. How about that?
Okay.
That's the most tragic storyline you get right there.
Yeah.
Mine was Zordon dying.
Alright, and last one from the viewer. What was your personal most heroic moment?
My personal most heroic moment? I went to a children's hospital, a Shriners Children's Hospital a long time ago, and my gimmick to visit a weightlifting buddy of mine's kid who was getting his leg CAT scanned. It had all kinds of pins in it and everything, and I took some candy for the other kids that were there, and there was a little girl there that they had just put some fake legs on, and she was screaming her head off and did not want to walk in the fake legs. I think she was afraid to try for fear she would get hurt or something like that. And I came in my gimmick and knelt down on the other side of the room with some of my candy and said, "Come on, you want some of that?" And she walked across the room in the new fake legs to get the candy.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and that one stuck out in my head. So I guess that was probably my greatest moment right there.
That is awesome.
That's why you do it, man. That's why you do it. That's great.
Alright, so we can touch on a couple more things. I wanted to ask you about the action figures. What was one of the first ones that you ever made?
The first one I ever made, let me think. It was a kid we used to have in the superhero community named Renegade. And he was this tall, way taller than me, well-built kid with an all blue and black gimmick. He kind of looked like a blue and black ninja. And he came down here on a trip to Sarasota, and I drove down there across the Skyway, and him and me got together and did a patrol down there in Sarasota, and it basically had a good evening and everything like that. Had to make sure everybody was safe. And then when he went home, I made an action figure of him and sent it back up north to him.
Awesome.
That's crazy, man.
Alright, so second part of that question is how long does it usually take you to make an action figure?
Depends on how into it I am. If it's not a lot of building and it's basically a straight repaint, it could take a day. You base coat it, let the base coat dry, and then make with your other paints. Stuff like Brad, because he had a custom head and everything, that took well over a week. It depends on how much free time you've got. One time I made a sculpture of the creature from Frankenhole and gave it to Dino Stanantopoulos at a con over in Miami.
Oh shit.
Yeah, there's a video of that on my YouTube channel if you want to pull that up. And Scott Adsit and him are sitting there, and I said, how often do you get a con gift? He said, I've never gotten a con gift. So, well, here's your first one, and gave him the sculpture.
I saw that.
It took me like a month.
Wow.
Damn.
But yeah, you can see the video of it there on my YouTube channel.
Definitely link in the description.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Alright, so last question here. What is your take on the new Batman vs. Superman coming out?
Honestly, I don't know. All we've seen to this point is trailers.
Right.
So, everyone screamed and hollered about Batfleck. But remember, before they saw it, everybody screamed and hollered about Heath Ledger playing the Joker.
Yeah, I was one of those people.
Exactly.
Right,
but I came around to it when I seen him.
Yeah, I did.
People, I think they're jumping the gun. I think people are jumping the gun. Like we were talking about with the wrestling thing, don't be a smart.
Right.
Be a smart. you know, enjoy it. Just enjoy it for what it is. It's comic books. It's dumb fun. It's not going to affect the world. People are reading too much into it now. They should just, wait for it and hopefully enjoy it.
Yeah, I stopped for a little bit, and then I realized that I started enjoying wrestling a little bit more. But then I kind of got sucked back into like the internet shit, and now I completely hate WWE. I watch Lucha Underground now.
It's a good alternative if you like the straight up you know, Lucha is high flying talent.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
That's what I did like about the one match that I watched.
Prince Puma with the 650 senton and shit lands it every fucking time. That sounded.
Alright, so thank you again for talking with us and powering through all the technical difficulties we had.
It's not a problem, guys. I was glad I was able to help you.
And I'll be in touch with you on Facebook or Twitter here, and maybe we can set up another interview for a couple more weeks down, because there's a lot more stuff that we'd like to talk to you about whenever you got free time. And
yeah, sure, no problem.
Alright, so thank you again. I hope you have a great night. And we will talk to you again soon.
Oh yeah,
you too, guys.
Namaste.
Have fun at karaoke.
All right. Have a good night.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
It went good, minus the technical bit.
Brad, oh my god, I can't believe he died.
Seriously, Brad? Like, what the hell's going on?
No body, no dead Brad.
Right?
Right, exactly.
That's what I was thinking too. I was thinking they've got to bring him back some way.
I was
thinking the drugs were going to interact. He's going to have new superpowers.
I watched The Flash. You can't get me. I watched The Flash.
But I was like, oh my god, how could you guys? Oh.